Hey guys, alright, so today we're going to have a look at just a variation to the omoplata, because a lot of the time when we get caught in omoplata, the guy starts to put our shoulder down to the ground. It's going to maximize the pressure on our shoulder. And what happens a lot of the time is that we start to roll out of the position, and then the guy ends up getting on top of us, and then you can start to get a better position, which is probably going to be better than tapping out. Because if we tap, if we don't roll and then we tap, then the guy got the submission and he's going to win the match. So we can do a roll just to let the guy come on top, but we're never going to end up in a bad position. So we're going to try to look at a way that we can end up in a better position by still rolling. So first I'll show you like what I mean with the omoplata, with the guys just rolling and then the guy ends up getting to a better position, and then we'll have a look at the variation. So if we're here, and in the guard, and he starts to work the omoplata. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to try to do always is like try to keep posture. All right, so I'm going to try to keep the posture all the time, keep his hips back and control his hips. But a lot of the time the guy's going to start to push me forward, and now when my arm starts to go to the floor, it's going to maximize the pressure in the shoulder. So a lot of people, what happens is they start to roll, and then I go to this position here where you can end up on top and then get a better position, right? So what we're going to look at is a little way here. We'll just turn to the side a little bit. A little way here where the guy has the omoplata, he starts to come up. Okay, look, instead of putting this shoulder to the floor, guys, and rolling, what I'm going to do is bring my body to the side a little bit, and I'm going to bring my other shoulder to the floor. So I'm going to tuck my arm and my head through this gap here. So I can step up on my leg to do this, or I can just do it off my knees. I'm going to roll, look, the other shoulder, and then I'm going to start to go to the ground here. Almost like I'm going into like a north-south position. Okay? Now, I'm going to continue the movement with my hips and my legs to come up on top. I don't want him to start to attack this arm. If I stay here too long, he might be able to get this up. So I'm not going to try to come up to my knees. I'm going to use like a pendulum movement here. I'm just going to switch my legs, and now I'm going to tuck my arm, and now I'm going to come back up and end up back in the guard. All right. So instead of just rolling over and letting the guy end up getting on top, we can roll back into a position where we can start to pass the guard again and not have to worry about the guy getting on top of us. And all it takes is to drop the opposite shoulder to the ground rather than doing what you would think is the natural way to do it. You still relieve the pressure off the shoulder, but you're going to end up in a better position. So the omoplata goes on here. Look, if I can't keep my posture, my shoulder's going to go to the ground, right? So when my shoulder goes to the ground, I put my head to the ground here, and now I'm going to tuck my arm in and put my opposite shoulder to the ground. So instead of rolling this way away from him, I'm going to roll in towards him. Okay? So my head goes to the ground, and I go to here. You see how my opposite shoulder's on the ground now. I lifted my back leg, and now look, as I swing my legs around, I'm going to scissor to come back up on top, to scoop in to get my guard position again. So one more time. The omoplata goes on. Look, pressure. If he gets my head down, now look, if he keeps going, I'm going to tap here. Because as soon as my shoulder gets close to the ground, it's maximizing the pressure on my shoulder. So as soon as I feel him starting to come up, I'm going to put my head on the post, on my head on the ground. That's going to allow me to spin like this. Look, spin, walk, switch my hip, come back up to start passing the guard here. All right, guys, so a really simple little trick that can work really well. Instead of rolling out and letting the guy get a good position, like I said, you can just drop the other shoulder to the ground, spin through, and then you're back into a good position. Just remember not to come straight up into like a triangle, or come straight up and go forward into like an arm lock or into closed guard. You want to come back up and start to control the legs and give yourself some distance to start to apply your pass.